All right. So this is June Fusion Month. This means that this month in our Small Baby Collaborative, we are going to be hearing from our various members who have been implementing things over the last several months. And so they're going to share successes, stories, struggles, the whole 9 yards with you. And I have already seen some of the slides. I know you are going to be so impressed and so excited. And so we have 3 presenters this hour with some Q&A time, and then we're going to do 3 more next hour with some Q&A time. And so we're just going to do the talks together back to back, and then we'll open up for kind of Q&A to the whole panel. And without further ado, I'm just going to allow Miss Amber to get started. She's going to be our first one up. And she's going to introduce herself as part of her slide set. So Amber, I'll let you take it away.
Sounds great. Okay, so I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited that Kathy's giving us this opportunity to be able to share what we're doing, because I'm really excited about getting started with this and the help that this collaborative has provided. My name's Amber Patzloff. I currently work at Avera McKinnon Hospital in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We are currently a 42-bed NICU level 3, but we are adding on, so a women's and children's tower is being built. So we will be adding more beds. South Dakota, although we have not that many people, we don't have many NICUs. And so there's definitely a need for more NICU beds, which is exciting and scary and all of the things at the same time. So we're really in the beginning stages of that. I've been a nurse for 10 years and in the NICU for 7. And I'm currently the supervisor here in our NICU. And I've done that for the past 3 years. So pretty new to my leadership role, but love it all the same. My favorite things about the NICU, I, as you can see, started in adult world for a few years, and that was not for me. I have always been adults are not my thing. I'm so thankful somebody will take care of them, but I just love, it's always cheesy what we say when we love the NICU, but getting to watch miracles is what we get to do. I think so many people are like, you must have such a sad job. And I'm like, it's not sad. We do have sad things, but our kids are so resilient. And I think that's one of my favorite things. And also working with families and getting to make families that didn't think that they would get to be a family is another one of my favorites. And then my parents are both teachers, and they always told me I'd be a teacher one day. And I was like, no, I am not doing that. And now my mom laughs at me because most of my job is educating nurses, and I do love educating and being able to implement things and all of this type of stuff. So my mom did win on that. But I have a dog and a cat that you can see my Christmas pictures of them. They keep me very entertained, and I love them, Millie and Zeke. And then I also love to travel, and I'm always looking for my next trip, which I don't have planned right now. So if anybody has any advice, send it my way. So it's all about the one thing here. And I love that idea. And I've loved implementing that in my NICU. And so really how we chose our one thing and what we saw is that we had an issue. And so that's where things start. So we had done a golden hour project in 2016, 2017, which is when I came into the NICU. So I actually was not a part of that at all. But they had developed a team with NPs, RNs, and RTs, and had implemented, done a ton of education, things like that. And really for a lot of years, we sustained a completion rate above 90%, most of the time above 95 in those years. So really successful project for the most part. And then we just started seeing those numbers dwindle off. And in the last year, in 2023, we actually had a 64% completion rate. To be a little bit of that was we also started resuscitating down to 22 weeks last year. So I think that probably had a little bit to do with it too. But we also saw that we didn't really have any sustainability of that project. We did a ton of work in 2017 and then just hoped it would stick for a long time. And like everywhere, we had lots of turnover and new staff as we grow. We've been growing our nursing and just a lot of people who hadn't been a part of that education at that time. And so we really decided to re-engage this team. So we have the Golden Hour 2.0 team is what we are calling it. And we really tried to get more people involved. Our unit, as everybody's units are, is so multidisciplinary, and that's so important, especially in that first hour of life. So many people are touching that infant's life. So I'm the nurse leadership representation, and then we have a neonatologist, a few NNPs, about 5 or 6 nurses, 2 RTs, and a patient care tech that we utilize in our unit for quite a few different things of secretarial role and things like that. So they are a part of that golden hour too. The cool thing was some of the original members are still here, so they got to join in and give their expertise from that time and bring it in. And then we also had several people who did golden hour projects at other facilities that now work here. And so they've been able to bring a little bit different perspective too. And then also all my stuff I've learned here, we've been bringing to the team. And so I think it's been a great multidisciplinary everything coming together to try and revamp this team in the last few months. So it really started probably around the same time we started this collaborative. So it was perfect timing for everything. So what we chose to work on is really not one side of the cube. Everybody in my team has loved this framework to try and like slow us down and really think about everything, because we are notorious for like, I want to fix it all at once, right? I need everything fixed tomorrow. And so we really are taking that golden hour square on each side of the cube and doing it one square at a time. And I think that's something that I've learned from this collaborative so much. And it has helped so many projects in our NICU, not just this one, for everyone to be like, okay, slow our roll. Are we thinking about everything? And what we did in our first meeting was really to assess what the biggest challenges were that we saw. So why are we missing the golden hour? What has changed? All of that stuff. And it really boiled down to 3 things. Thermoregulation and IV access were 2 of the biggest reasons that we were missing that golden hour in all of that, in that 36% of the time, either the temperature or we weren't getting lines in a timely manner. And then what the team really felt was that the role delineation had been very blurred. Everybody knew what to do, but was really just jumping from role to role. And they had really made clear definitions of it at the beginning. And so really defining those roles again was really important to them. And so that's what they decided to work on. We decided to work on first because it would help everything in the long run. It's really where we had to start, which is what the cube says too. So we've used a lot of the resources. We had our own checklists, but people felt like they weren't user friendly, they weren't helpful, they weren't getting used. And we did a lot of looking at the checklists that we have and making them work for our unit, because every unit's different, but it was very easy and such a great framework. And I think it made everybody be able and willing to, hey, here's a starting point, go from here. And it wasn't just sometimes in our unit, at least, and I don't know if this is every unit, but it had been like, oh, your leadership, you're here every day, you can do it all. And I have seen so much from my nurses and RTs and MPs when I've given them like, hey, here's a tool, you go for it. And they've really taken it on themselves, which is awesome. So that's what they're currently working on, is really revamping our stuff with the stuff that we had, and taking it slowly at a time. So it's taken a little bit, and we've done a couple different, oh, now we need to tweak this and that. And so we're actually meeting next month, and we'll have those finalized and hopefully be able to implement some of those changes. So like I said, we're revamping those checklists. The other things that they really wanted to do is create role cards to hand out during the huddle. They had felt like we just talked about our roles, but didn't really have anything solid in front of us. And so they're creating, everybody has a different role card to be able to read what their role is right before everything's happening. And then the other thing that they came up with is a little bit of an incentive. So we're the golden ticket chocolate bar. So it's essentially like a Hershey bar wrapped in gold paper. But if we have a successful golden hour, we try to, and they had done this previously in 2017, is to wrap the golden bar, give it out, take a picture, really celebrate that win, because I think that's a huge part of this, is showing that what we're doing is making a difference and getting everybody excited about it. So my biggest win so far, since we don't really have data or a lot of things, is my engagement from my team members has been so exciting. And I think this collaborative and the excitement it has given me is contagious. And now it's going on to my team members. So I've been really excited about that. And sometimes you guys might feel this on your unit, we don't like change, right? This has worked before, why do we have to change this? And really everyone has been like, wow, this is how they do it there. That's a great idea. Oh, like just really open to change. And that's a difference that I've seen in the culture. And I think that's an awesome change. So we did see this is a picture of our golden hour hero donuts that we're getting to try and, as we implement, it's not all about food, but it's about food. So we try and get everybody involved that way too. So my lessons learned are create a sustainability plan. That's something that we're implementing in this is, okay, we're doing all this work. How are we going to make it stick? and making sure to measure your outcomes all the time, because we wouldn't know this was happening. This was a 2017 project that this NNP had still really had passion about, and so wanted to continue to measure those outcomes. So we wouldn't have even seen that dip maybe if we hadn't still been measuring those. Get the right people at the table, get your multidisciplinary team, and then engage the team that you have, because they all do great work and they're all part of the puzzle that helps everybody. So that's what we've been doing at Avera. Very beginning stages, but super excited about what's going to happen and how this is going to help our babies, and implementing and help our nurses to be able to know what to do too. That's my presentation.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. And I hope you're seeing all the comments, just wonderful work in all of that. If there's anybody who wants to ask one quick question, we can do that. Otherwise, we'll just keep rolling. And I love the golden ticket. I think that is so great. And I love that you also included your PCT, your tech, because you're so right. That first hour, they are so critical to that going so smoothly. So thanks for highlighting that other individual that you involved. I think that was really genius. And probably we all know that, but I think just by listing it, it's just a great reminder. Cool. All right, Becky, you are up next.